A sexual harassment investigation can stand or fall on the choice of individual to lead the process. There are a number of issues in play here: skills, experience, independence, and how to manage any perceived conflicts of interest. Skills and experience should be your first consideration. Do you have someone or a team within your organisation that has the necessary investigative skills and experience in interviewing in these delicate situations, as well as an understanding of the technical meaning of harassment and the associated issues? As a minimum, they should be familiar with the Equality and Human Rights Commission technical guidance on sexual harassment. They'll need to choose their words and approach carefully to make sure there's both a fair outcome and that the complainant has been heard. But even if there is someone with the capabilities to investigate, the issue of independence should be scrutinised. This often comes up where the subject of the harassment allegation is senior or influential. Here it can be difficult to create actual and perceived impartiality without appointing an external investigator. This might be an external HR consultant, a barrister, a law firm, or even a judge. Even where you can identify someone internally who meets all of the necessary criteria, the sensitive nature of the allegations may just mean it would be preferable in terms of the overall optics to have the investigation carried out externally. That's particularly relevant where the investigation is going to be subject to external scrutiny or regulatory scrutiny. But as always, it needs to be considered on a case-by-case basis.
This is a common situation in a sexual harassment investigation. Often, we have one person's word against another. What investigators have to do is investigate more widely to find out what is more likely to have happened than not. And it's important to bear in mind the legal test here is just that: what is more likely to have happened. And we're not working with the criminal burden of proof, which is beyond all reasonable doubt. So investigators have to cast their net quite widely. If we don't have direct witness evidence, then for example, they may have to examine IMs, text messages and emails between the people involved. They might have to speak to wider teams and colleagues of the individuals involved to pick up if there's been any change in the dynamic or if either of the individuals has confided in them. Investigators in sexual harassment complaints also have to assess the credibility of those they're speaking with. That can be tricky, and it's when we move away from the black and white evidence. But for example, an unusual lack of recollection of detail or a changing story can be very relevant when an investigator is forming conclusions in relation to sexual harassment. It's important in this space that organisations remember if they never uphold allegations of sexual harassment on the basis that it's one person's word against another, it's almost certain that allegations or incidents of sexual harassment will go unchecked. And it also feeds into the culture of there's no point in speaking up because nobody will believe you. So the message for employers in this area is make sure that your investigators are trained and understand the subtleties of investigating in sexual harassment complaints, and that you support them adequately when they're carrying out this process.